Hey there guys, and in this video I'm going to be showing off two ways to get, Orokin cells pretty consistently. Now, they're more consistent than doing missions and going and hoping to find some. Um, but they're not like you're going to get one every single mission. They have a high chance of dropping. And the two missions I'm talking about are the two assassinations on Ceus and I think it's Saturn. Lieutenant Krill and Captain Vor is one of them, and the other one is, as I said, in Saturn, which is General Sargus Rock. Now, the reason you want to do these two is because, as I said, they both drop Orokin cells, and this one right here, it this still I would recommend if you just want to if you don't really care about time, you have heaps of time, you just kind of want to get them. I would recommend doing this mission as they're a lot more consistent. You have like a lot more consistent chance of actually getting a lot of them pretty quickly, but and you can just again, because the reason is I'm pretty sure the Orokin cell drop rate is a lot higher than the one over in CS, because CS is it's pretty rare to get Orokin cells. But the reason you want to do CS is because the two bosses there both have a chance of dropping them, and that's pretty common. Again, nowhere near as common as what's his name, General Sagas Rock, but still pretty common. And so if you want to go and do a mission, if you want to go do if you want to have a chance of getting Arkansas a lot quicker, getting a lot more in a shorter time span, because the one over in CS it's really short. The mission over there is pretty short. It's a lot shorter than General Sargus Wreck. But saying that, General Sargus Wreck is also pretty quick, but again, nowhere near the one over at CS. So I recommend, if you just want to get if you want to get a lot of Arkansas, you can get them really quickly, but there's a chance. It's like a gamble. There's a pretty big chance that you're not going to. But if you do want to get a pretty consistent amount of Arkansas just for a longer amount of time, I recommend doing this. So yeah. Now I'm going to show you the builds that I like to go into into those missions if you're like a lower level player and you have some of these like around mastering 10, because I won't actually show you how it goes, because if you know to do the assassination missions, they don't really matter, because it doesn't really matter me showing you, because it's pretty simple, it's pretty basic, and I can explain through this what you're going to do. So for the CS one, for Vor and Lech Krill, what I like to run is Nova and Tigris. Now the reason I like to run Tigris is because one, you can Tigris is one, it's just a really good gun. You can also use Tigris Prime, and again, you can pretty much, if you use Nova's fourth ability, pretty much one shot sorry, what's the name? Vor, sorry, I apologize. And also, if you get a shot at his back, it takes around both the bullets and the thing to pop off one of his tube things, which you need to do to actually get him to freeze, and then you can do damage on him. So I would recommend using Tigris. Again, saying for this mission, it doesn't really matter what weapon you use. You can pretty much use any weapon. And if you have access to Frost is also a good one. If you don't have Nova, but because pretty much the reason I want to have Nova is because because I want to slow them down. That's the main reason I want to slow down Let Krill. Frost can do that. Frost is a lot better at that, but it doesn't increase the damage you can do on them. So that's why I like to use Nova instead. And so so if you don't have Nova, you can use Frost, all fine, or Frost Prime if you did the Twitch Prime Premium thing, whatever it was called, and you can use that if you so want to. But I like using Nova. Because you slow you do, if you use Nova's fourth ability and use Tigris, you can one shot Vor. But yeah, again, he has like a phase thing, so you can one shot him in all three phases. And yeah, and with like Krill, you pretty much, when you use this 4, he's slowed down, so you can just run around the back, shoot him in the back, and his tube should come off. And that's why I like to use Tigris as well, and that should slow him down. So pretty good. Now again, as I said, you don't have to use Nova. You can use Frost. Other ones you could probably use there aren't that many. You pretty much just Nova and Frost. There aren't that many frames to actually slow people down. So yeah, so it's pretty much that. So those kind of ones you can Frost and Nova I recommend using for this, and Tigris. Pretty much I would use any shotgun. Any shotgun's pretty good. Yeah, Heck would probably be a pretty good one if you have that. The Corneth would also be pretty good, and Asleta. That's pretty much it. Also, if you have the Sobek, that would also be pretty good. So yeah, that's pretty much a shotgun. And for General what's his name? General Corgus Rock, where they've sent the Boston Saturn. Sorry, I'm not really good at names. The Boston Saturn. Again, just use Tigris. Again, you don't need to use Tigris. You could use pretty much any weapon you can use. I just prefer Tigris because it can literally, or maybe Heck, if you have that leveled up. You pretty much, because the one reason is because his little when his weak spots come out, you can just one shot it and it's gone straight away. So that whole entire phase of just like his weak spot being out goes really quickly if you use the shotgun. And that's pretty much, again, you can use like you can use auto rifles or all that kind of stuff, or you can use pretty much anything would be pretty good with them, except maybe like snipers or the Ampex. I don't know how to say that. Area of effect weapons maybe not as good. Mainly shotguns and assault rifles pretty much. So yeah. Again, I don't like using Nova because you don't really want to slow the boss down. Because because again, to get his phases up, from what I've seen, from when I've been playing with him, he pretty much, like, especially for his first phase, I'm pretty sure he has to use a lot of his like flamethrower ammo, and then his weak spot will come up. So again, I don't really like using Nova because it pretty much just slows down the fight, and there's no need for it to slow him down. So I like to use Frost or Frost Prime, one of those, because you have like a lot of health or anything, so you have a lot of health and armor, so you're not gonna die that quickly. Your first ability, if you so do want to like slow them down, you can use your first ability. If there's enemies around, you can use your fourth ability, and again, he's just really good at surviving. So I like to use Frost or Frost Prime for this kind of boss fight. If I had Rhino, I would use Rhino because he pretty much does the exact same. He basically is the exact same as Frost for like why I want to use he has the same reasons why I would want to use Frost. So and he probably does it better. He has like armored, so he doesn't die. He's pretty hard to kill. So I would probably use Rhino once I level him up, but sadly I haven't got him leveled up, so can't use him. But if you have a Rhino level 30, I'll take him in there for farming. That's pretty good. And yeah, just use Tigris, and that's pretty much it. That's all you really need. So if you don't know how to defeat them, I'll go search up a different video because again I'm not gonna show you. There's no point because there's heaps of other videos that explain it a lot better and will be a lot better explaining how to defeat them. So I recommend watching that. And you can just use what I've shown you in that, or you can use what they've recommended. I don't know, it doesn't really matter. But those are two places to go if you want to farm out Orokin cells. These two, it's pretty much it. Nothing else really to say. Oh, also, there's I've also noticed doing, I don't know, specifically those missions, it's pretty easy to find. What are they called? Like little Orokin cell caches. Those little things you find on the ground. They're full of Orokin cells. They're pretty. I found those the most in like those missions as well. So I don't know if it's just because I do those missions quite a lot, and then like because I've done so many of that mission when compared to all the other missions in Saturn, I just naturally see a lot more in that. I don't know if it's that, or it just has a higher chance of spawning, or it spawns on the path you go with. Probably it might be the third one, probably the one that's likely, or probably the first one is probably the one that's most likely. So I don't know, that's just it. And yeah, if you just want to get some Orokin cells, so go to these two places. So yeah, let's get in the video here. Okay, see ya.